Hello and welcome back to our channel where we speak all about futures, technical analysis, the understanding of importance of how simple it is and boring to really succeed in the markets and the futures and the just stock market. Obviously, there is a million and one type of strategies and tactics of how to grow in the markets. However, I have an amazing mentor that actually teaches me the really simple, nitty-gritty type of stuff to grow and succeed with the market. So I will be sharing that with you. It might be repetitive over and over on pretty much different videos that you see that I do and different markets that I'm analyzing, but that's the important to understand that they are all the same and it's the boring stuff that will make you successful. So there is nothing technical change and to trade with earnings. So that's when you will want to understand a bit more about what will happen also from the technical standpoint, but usually it's all will follow certain important things that we will be looking at from the technical standings. Okay, so I will share my screen and today we will be analyzing the chart of wheat. Okay, so just going to share. You can see that I actually already had some type of analysis that I have done long time ago, like somewhere in 2023, actually a year ago. Okay, that's where I was doing that. And if you look at this chart, okay, what you might recognize that is wrong before actually going ahead and analyzing again. Okay, it's very important that you look to that and always make sure when you chart anything that you actually understand those fundamental things that will make difference in your charting. Okay, and that is basically right here. Okay, this BADJ. Okay, it's very important to turn off and look why, because the moment we do that, okay, you can see the number will stay the same, but the chart, okay, will change. And look, also most of my drawings, okay, will be at the right place, but not when the BADJ turned on. Okay, so it's very important to do that. So what we want to do here also, okay, it's we basically want to make sure that we do the analysis all again. So what we will do, it's first thing first, we will delete everything and we will start drawing. Sometimes people will say, like I want to remember where I have certain lines and whatnot. We don't need to do it, because as you train your eye, you will be able to, basically, you will be able to then find those places much faster and better. And it's just better to do it all on a naked chart, not to, try and do in such a way that it's like robotic. Very good. Okay, so you can see what you can see here, that look, historically it's showing you if there is a high, okay, and then it goes, and after a couple of years, which is many years, like 20 years after, right, in 20 years later, pretty much, it came to the same exact high, tested, and had the low. And here you would see the same. It basically did that right there on 2008, and again in 2022 it went to all-time high. Here it did a bit different. It did a squeeze, like a long squeeze. So everybody that started to long somewhere here, thinking, okay, it's coming almost to the high, it's turned around on them and start to go down. And eventually people will squeeze out. And if they didn't, unfortunate, because look at that drop. Okay, so right here also there is this zone. However, it's not such good structure. So let's look at certain things. Firstly, we need to basically find trend lines. Okay, so let's look for a trend line. Let's look at the trend line. Let's find trend lines. Sometimes if it's on a monthly, you might not find, so you go to a weekly. Okay. Okay. And there is nothing at the moment that I can see. From this perspective, we're going to see a trend line here. So then I take from the bottom. So on the bottom side, we have this trend line that we can see. Actually, also my mentor was sharing with me that he is looking at a trade on wheat and like what he's thinking to do in terms of size and everything, but never told me where is his plan of entry and nothing. Not even if it's short or long or whatever the case might be. So today, after meeting with him yesterday, I told myself, you know what? Number one, I want to make a video sharing some of the lessons that I learned from him. And number two, I want to make sure that I analyze wheat as well and send him my plan to figure out if he thinks I do the right type of plan and it's similar to his or not. It doesn't have to be similar to anybody's, but since I'm learning from him and he's doing very well and he's a great role model, um, I want to see what I can see, if I see the right things. So we go from weekly. We have this trend line. I don't see from up trend line and up like a upper trend line. Now, what I want to see? No, we cannot see that. No. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, like this is somewhat can be a trend line from the up because it's from the top, okay? Came here, broke above aggressively, and came below aggressively, respected once, twice. That's on a weekly basis. If we look at it from a daily base, right, we also have that broke above aggressive, broke below aggressive, which shows that, like here, buyers like bulls will be in control, push it higher with no resistance, and then trend very much higher aggressively. And the same thing here, and then there is a retest. So potentially might be good one. Now, why it's important for us to make sure that we find those type of trend lines, because then we are able to put our 50% Fibonacci. So when we put our 50% Fibonacci, we will be able to see also that it's getting respected by the trader, the bulls and the bears. So we do see that, okay, phenomenal. Then once we have that, we will start looking for support and resistance line, which will be key levels that are respected over the historical of the chart, historically. Okay, so basically we can start with weekly time frame. That's not an issue. We can do daily. That's not an issue as well. And how you mainly want to start by looking for key levels is basically, you know, let's an example. I just will put a line here. Okay, how you can start with looking at the line from here, this point. Okay, it will be more to see that it's happening one time here, and then like this is not the right key level as of yet, but what I'm trying to show you that mainly you want to start by looking at hits like that with change of direction. Okay, so right now we will remove that. We will look uh, where we are seeing key levels. So mainly we will want to look for a key level in an area that potentially we will look for an entry. So we have something in this area, okay, which is very good. In fact, okay, I can show you right here. Okay, boom. So look here. So you can see here, okay, one moment. So from here. So look here, one, okay, then it would have all of these respected. Okay, then what happened, there is another one time here, okay, and that's on a weekly basis too, so it's very good. Then it would come here with double confirmation, that is on a trend line. Okay, so there is that trend line that is being respected. Okay, and it's a key level, support and resistance, so that's like fairly to say very good. So when it will come to this area here, we can put a tight risk to reward with a potential for the up move. There is already two to three confirmations that I can see right there, actually three. That what it is, it's one, we have this support and resistance, okay, key level. We have this trend line, okay, and then it's on the below of the 50% Fibonacci. So we have the potential of a high, move higher. So there is already those three moves. Okay, now what you want to understand that we are on a trend going lower. Okay, so there is an important lesson that I also, learned from my mentor before, but yesterday I clarified on that. So I want to make sure that I share that a bit with you here, and then I will continue. So what happened? As we have this move, okay, this trend downwards, okay, so it's a very big trend, okay, it's something that there is a saying, the trend is your friend, right? So since we see that there is a very big move um, onto the bottom and bulls are in control, okay, what will be important for us is that if, let's say an example, we enter here and our take profit will be here, and let's say we enter with 10 lots, okay, 10 lots, so we basically will have 10 lots at the entry here. Let me just change my pen. 1 second. So we enter here with 10 lots, okay? And our goal will be basically to, long to here, okay? Let's say, okay? So, and our stop loss will be here as an example, okay? So what will be important to understand is if that will be our case, okay? So as the trade will start going into our favor, okay, we want to take profit. We want to figure out where we want to take profit, first, second, third, and whatnot. So number one rule, okay, we want to do minimum 1-to-1 risk to reward before we take first time profit. Okay, so it doesn't happen that it's less than that. So let's say an example here, we take profit, okay, because it's with like against the trend, so it's a down move and we are playing long. So what you will want to do in this case, you will want to take a minimum 32%. of your position. So here you will want to take 3 to 4 lots of the table. Why? Because the trend is downward, so you want to make sure you secure profits and not risk to potentially have a lower high, okay, or higher low here, okay, and then it will turn around on you, and you didn't take profit because you waited longer or you took less profit. So then what happened? You will move, okay, your stop loss from here to here, and you're already profitable with 33 lots. I mean, 3 lots, 33%. Okay. Then what happens as a potential? Okay, it will go higher. Now you move, it will go higher, right? You will take here another 32%. And now let's say an example, you move your stop loss to 50% Fibonacci here. Okay, so between your first take profit and your stop loss, your new stop loss, your entry price. Okay, so you move that to there. Okay, so it's very important to understand. However, if let's say an example, it's an uptrend. Okay, so or let's say an example like this. So let's say it's a downtrend. Okay, and I enter here short. Okay, I put my stop loss here, and let's say it gets here and I'm taking profits, then I can take profit of 20%, okay, of the position and let the other 80 run and then take profit along the way. But what the importance to understand, it's when it's with the trend, you take off smaller amounts to make sure that you have higher probability of having more profits on the table for you. When it's against the trend, you want to protect your profit and take profits faster. And if all of a sudden it changed the trend, phenomenal. You just made a bit less, but you had a very good trade. It's not about how much you made; it's about what system and edge you're using to really succeed in trading for the long term. So it's very, very important. So this is a little explanation on what my mentor was explaining me yesterday, which was amazing because I told him, for me, most important that things make sense. Once it makes sense, I will do it myself, and I will teach you and the people that will watch that easily because I understood, and it's very important. Um, okay, phenomenal. So now what we want to do, we will want to, so we have this one support and resistance key level. We can find more, okay? We can find more because there is many within different charts. However, do we need it right now? Which also, what you will be able to see that this key level, I didn't look on this historical as much back, but you can see that it's a price that historically always had some type of respect. Okay, and then look here, respect here, respect here, respect here. Every time would get to such a price, it would be somewhat respect. And when it broke above aggressively, and you can see how when it testing it, it's rejecting very aggressive. Okay, and when it's breaking below, it's trading under very much. With respect to that price. So that price is very important on the chart, okay? On this instrument. So that on that. Now, do we want to find another key level so we know where we will want to take profits? Sure, we will do that. Actually, right now it's trading in that zone. So that's potential that it will be, turning around on us here. So let's look from the up stand. Okay, I'm looking here. That's a very good one, actually. Okay, why it's a good one? Look, one here, one here. Okay, along the way we also have some others, but this one, two, you see here, here also before a massive move higher, and it's had that move down, and in this area it became more balanced and respect to this area, and then it had that rejection. So it's important to take notice of that. And now it's moving lower. Okay, so basically we will want to look at those two areas. Okay. Now let's start to look for supply and demand. So we'll start with a weekly. Actually, we can even start with a monthly, because on monthly basis can be very strong positions and very strong zones. So checking that, then we'll go to weekly. And again, what you are seeing me do, run with my eyes pretty much all around the highs and lows to look for potential zones. I'm not looking all around as I used to do. So I'm sharing with you right away so you don't do that, because it will be waste of your time. So here you can see it was like slowly, slowly, slowly balanced, moving higher. And then once it broke above, it became very much uh, in balance by a lot. So that's great. And what is balance versus imbalance? I will explain here again. Okay, so basically you can see, okay, from here to here, right? What happens? Okay, it was trading within this price range for quite a bit of time. So what you are able to see is that the market thinks that during the daily trading hours that it was trading, they thought that this price range, it's a fair price, for wheat at the time, and they didn't want to move the price from here. Okay, they thought that that's what we are willing to pay per lot of wheat at that price. And then once they said, okay, now that we had a lot of wheat created, and we need now to grow more, or whatever the case might be, okay, now we believe that wheat can start going higher in price. So then it went out of this balanced price, and the moment it broke above here, that's it. Most likely it would move higher, higher, and higher, maybe have some correction, which some people say that there is a pattern of those three candles for potential continue of reversal or higher move. Same thing with four, they say. I don't follow as much of those patterns, to be very honest, but you can see how there is this move higher, then correction, higher, correction, and higher again. And then here they say, okay, now that it's so at such price, you know what? We see that maybe not a lot are willing to accept the price here, so they start to push it downward. Okay, so it's important to understand that, and adapt to the market of that situation. That's why we also will be basically charting, let's say, like 50 to 60 or 200 different charts over time, okay? Because sometimes the market might be balanced, as you can see here, for how long? It's basically will be for pretty much, I don't know, 10, 15, no, actually, yeah, 20 days, more like 2 months almost, right? So it's been since March to almost end of April. So almost 2 months was in the same place. So would you take a trade in such choppy trade, you probably will want to prevent you from doing that, because then your risk to reward will be lower. But here, when it's, let's say, moving upwards, if you have your risk to reward parameters set already, then it will be easier for you to capitalize on that. Because if you have a long here, okay, understanding that it's balanced, you have a long here with a stop loss, let's say even here, okay, under this last two highs, then you can manage a very, very great risk to reward. Okay, important to understand that. So that's what I wanted to say about balance and imbalance, and why we are looking at multiple charts. So now let's continue with looking at supply and demand. So we have that. There is basically, I want to look at the lows and at the highs. I will want to look firstly only in this area, because to look lower, not necessary; to look higher, not necessary at the moment, unless I will not find anything here, because I have already two confirmations. If I have three confirmation. If I have also supply and demand here, will be even better. Okay, so 12 hours. Now, what's important, also very, very important lesson to make sure that we understand, is basically that we need to look at the amount of hours that the trade is open. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to go here. Okay, we want to go here, and we want to understand. One second. What is the ticker on that? It's ZW. ZW. Wait. Not options, we want futures. Oh, yeah, right there. W. Oh, no, right there. Wait. Options. I guess that's the futures, right? So it's $50 per point, and it's opened trading hours. So trading hours from 7 p.m. to 7:45 a.m. So this is like 12 hours and 45 minutes. And then it settles for 1 hour. So 1 second, I have to write that down, okay, to pretty much understand how many hours it's working. So just give me 1 moment. Okay, so give me a second here. Okay, so basically what we will be doing here, okay, I just will share that with you. So that will be ZW. It will be for wheat. Okay, and what we want to analyze, it's how many hours it's open. Okay, in total. So we will be looking at that. So 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. will be 12 hours. Okay, then it will be an additional 45 minutes. Okay. So basically we have that. Then it will be from 8:30 to 1:20 p.m. So 8:30 to 1 So that's an example. This will be 13:20 p.m. Right. So basically, we have let's say 8 to 1. No, 8:39. So we have 30 minutes. Then we have additional 20 minutes. So now it's 8 to 1. 9, 10, 11, 12. Then another 5 hours. So we have basically 5 hours and 50 minutes. So we have 12 hours 45 plus 5 hours and 50 minutes. Okay, so now we just basically need to do that math. So what we want to do, give me a moment here, open a calculator and do like that. 12 times 60, 720. So 720 plus 45 plus 50. Okay. So basically you will have 815. Okay, and just bear with me, you will understand why we're doing all of that. 5 times 60, you have 300 plus 815. So it will be 1015. Okay, and then you take that and you divide it to 2. So because there is the 0.5, you cannot use it for a potential another zone. Okay, so what happened, you want to make sure that it's a whole number, okay, to have a look at another zone. Because it's not a whole number, then you cannot look at potential another zone. Okay, so what happened here, we continue to look for a zone. So basically it's telling us that the market is open for a good amount of hours of the day. Okay, so we have a zone here on the 6 hours. Okay, let me see, 12 hours, nothing. 6 hours, 4 hours, no, 3 hours, nothing, 2 hours, nothing. And I'm just looking right there right now because I don't care about the other area until I don't figure out if I can find something here. Which this is a bit of a lower probability. Maybe it will be my last target. Okay, why? Because it's under the 50% Fibonacci. So I would prefer not to do that. But let's continue analyzing. Okay, so the wick is on the bottom. Let's see on the 6 hours. The wick is on the top. Great pivot of the high. So from here, 6 hours. 6 hours to buy short here. Okay, now let's look here, because potentially we need to find something in this area, and that's a bit harder because, you know, if even there is something here, it's already tested. So we will need to figure out how we can find that. See here, that was tested. It was not bad on the pivot of the low, and then a little you know, move to the higher, but then there is continuation, so it's good. Retest and went higher. It's not that we would mark something like that, but just to look at that. So that's more or less in the middle of it. Right now it's in a demand in a zone, but it's lower probability. There is this one as well. No. So you see I have this one, but again it was already tested and used very well. So I cannot mark that. I have this one. I have this one, but not very good. In what sense? It's a bit. I mean, I can mark that, but it's a bit weird to me because it's very, very small move. No, I cannot mark that. I cannot mark that because way too small of a move following, even though there is continuation, but not good. Now, also important to understand that we don't trade only solely based on supply and demand. There is 3, 4 confirmations. Supply and demand is great, but it's not everything that we need to look for. A lot of people mistaking that if there is no supply and demand, you cannot take a trade, and thinking that supply and demand is the most important confirmation. That's not the case at all. Okay, but it's one of the confirmations that we want to look for. No question about that. So we'll look for it. No, we don't have anything here. So let me see. Based on what I'm saying here, I would want to do that very much. Hold on, 4 hours. That was a crazy drop. So I would want to put my stop loss around here. Okay. Stop loss around there. A bit under that. Okay. And depends. I will need to see how many lots I can play on that. Because I can risk, let's call it to $100 on this trade. Okay. So if I can only risk up to 100 lots, I mean $100, so I have to figure out what would be the amount of lots that I can enter in this case. Why am I putting my stop loss here? Then maybe I need to have an entry that is a bit lower, let's say here. So it says the correction. Now it might touch the line and just reject. So we don't know, right? We're just playing our probabilities. So we have that. And what we want to do, we want to enter along the lines of here. We have wheat. We have wheat. Hold on, let me just find this. We have wheat. I just want to see if we have micro wheats. Wait. Wait. Numerals? No. Micros. Numerals? No. Micros. Micros number. Okay. Canada, US. I don't think there is a micro wheat indices, no. I'm just looking if there is wheat. on the micros, agricultural right there. So we have wheat. Oh, minia, polio, wheat. So I just need to check if that's a mini wheat. So if I need to check if this is it, so you see here it's saying 8 to 8:45, 9:30 to 2:20. So I need to understand if this will be wheat. And then there is also this one that is like very weird stuff. So I need to understand if that's correct. And then winter wheat. And then we have this wheat. 8 to 8:45, 9:30. Is it Eastern Standard Time? Number 3. Number 3. Okay, so I will need to check. Actually, wait, what I can do. Okay. Actually, wait, what I can do. Okay. 12.50, that's true. $50. $50. So then if we have a $10, that's interesting. Let's see. XW. Let's see if I put here XW. Six oh four, 6 a bit different. I don't get it. 7 4 hours. A bit different. But let me see. Okay, so this is the important stuff that you make sure that you get to the right contract. Do your analysis as to how much you're risking, not just to enter, and that's it. So I need to figure out. I'm creating my plan. Just wanted to make sure that I am doing it correctly. For wheat, let me just copy that. Just checking. Let me just copy that. Just checking. Okay, so now we continue and basically understand that the analysis is to that we will have a plan to enter somewhere here. What we will do for now, we will put an alert in this area, so then we have enough time to enter and do our entry plan and order. Okay. But overall, what it is, I'm looking to enter here. I have a multiple of confirmations. We don't have supply and demand, which is more than normal, because if you're trading solely on supply and demand, you will find that sometimes it's not working. Okay, and the reason that I want to take here profits again because it's a downtrend. Okay, so I'm pretty much playing against the position, but then I will take profits somewhere here, which will be 1-to-1. Okay, as risk to reward, and then I will move my stop loss to entry and let it continue running. So that will be my main goal, to let continue running of my profits and take profits whenever it's a bit higher based on my analysis. Okay, like I'm looking at taking profit somewhere in this area, in between here, okay, to here. Why? Because you can see there is those 2 times or even more 3 times. You see 1, 2, 3, right? Times that they rejected very well. And also here, there is 1, 2, 3 that rejected. So between those 2 lines, I want to take final profits. Okay. So that's on this video. If you guys have any questions, if you learned anything, if you have any comments, compliments, we'll be more than happy to see them in the comment below. If there is anything specific that you want me to share and talk about, please let us know, because that's what will help us make sure that we're bringing you the best content that will be able to get you further in your journey. Our goal is to see our viewers and our people that support us succeed and provide them value. Value most important, to provide you value and see you succeed. Thank you for joining. My name is Avi Aronov, and I will see you in the next one.